Um, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy FRE $H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's THEFLYBOYWAY. Don't ask why, just check out the channel. And welcome back to another Jeep Talk. And this is Jeep Talk episode 4. A blessing or a lesson. Choosing the people or the people who you choose to surround yourself with. Growing up in my urban environment, my grandmother, my grandfather, my mother, my aunts, my family members. That's the first people who you normally are surrounded with when you step into this world. They've always told me that if you go around them knuckleheads, everyone's gonna assume you're a knucklehead. Then, I mean, you hear from the old folks all the time. You don't really think nothing of it. As I grew up, I started, building friendships with my first major friend was my cousin. My cousin is a big artist in Jersey. I gotta roll this up because I forgot how loud it gets. My cousin is a big artist in Jersey. He does like hip hop, but raps over club beats. He's one of the originators that did it. A lot of people know him. He's been on Summer Jam stages. He's done a lot of stuff. His music's been paid in Summer Jam and all that stuff. My second friend was my brother Steve. And along the way, I grew up a lot of different people into my life. And, I would see how we all would bond together. But then, of course, you had like auxiliary friends where you're my friend and then this is your friend. So now that's my friend. Someone always says you are the sum and median or mean. You are the average of the 5 people you are around the most. Barks, what up? What up? Salute. And between what my parents said and between this saying about you're the sum or the average of the 5 people you're around the most, throughout life, I always seen how this was true. Whether you choose to put yourself around somebody, like friends you meet along the journey, or you not forced, but you just normally are around them because there may be family members who you still have a choice to be around them or not, but they may be family members you grew up with, and it's harder to move off of family members. I pride myself in being around people. I agree with you are the mean of the 5 people, mean meaning average, of the 5 people you're around the most. But I pride myself in being around people who are not like me as well. Who don't have the same exact ideas as I have. Now, it's important to me that the core principles of who I choose to be around have to be the same. It's important to me because there are certain core principles which I myself know if I'm around someone who doesn't value my core principles and then they do something like that, it makes me look bad if people know them for being around me. So the core principles, yes, have to be very similar. But there are a range of people who I'm around who we don't have the same ideas on a lot of stuff. We don't have the same ideas on a lot of stuff. But I understand I will get more in the bigger scheme of things being around people who are different, who may have different attitudes, who may have different ways they approach stuff. And even if I end up having a situation with them, I don't see me ever putting it out in public because of the fact that I understand as long as we still have these same core principles, we could be around each other. I think it's important for personal growth to be able to shout out everybody in the room. Shout out to Slack. Shout out to STEMF. What's going on, fellas? Everything's amazing. Just last night was just like I was up late last night playing a video game, I started working on this gaming channel, um, but I'm doing the gaming channel because it's something I do when I'm not traveling. So, like for example, let me give you an example. I have a friend who is not from this country. I've known this guy for about 13 years, y'all. I've known this guy. He knew my grandfather before he passed away. He rents out one of the places in one of my apartments in one of my houses. Good brother, fixing stuff. We I've been able to build the I've been able to build the real estate kingdom that I have because I've been super close to this friend. But he comes from a different culture. My friend is Ecuadorian. I can tell you guys, my friend is Ecuadorian. He comes from a different culture. Well, from El Salvador, one of the ones. And he comes from a different culture. So, like as me, I like to keep things nice, neat, and clean. I like to make sure if I bring company over, everything is nice, neat, and clean. And the other day I had some company over, and when I brought the company over to use the bathroom, because or to do some stuff in the area that I needed to go to, which is like a shared space we use, they were like bugs. And my thing was like, I grew up in a house that was clean. Of course I grew up in a privileged hood sometimes, and yes, there were mice, but there was really no abundance of like bugs. So for me, when I brought my guest over, and my guest points out the bugs that were never there before, now that I allow my friend, who I've known for 13 years, to stay at the place, I'm like, yo, dog, immediately, dog, you gotta clean up down here. There's too many bugs down here, bro. I got exterminators that come. I do all this stuff. There's no reason why it should be bugs down here. But I have to understand, this guy's from a different culture. They leave their food out on the table. Mother, father, they leave their food out on the table. They cook and they clean the pots, but then they leave the food, like the cooked food, in the refrigerator for long periods of time. They leave fruit outside that cause that outside. This is stuff that I personally, growing up in the black environment, we didn't do. In my black environment, we did not do this stuff. But I understand the core principles we have are the same. So him and I, we can talk about this. He'll correct it, or he'll clean up or something like that, and then we'll move on to continuing our friendship. We'll move on to, and we're gonna go to the rough patch right now. We're of mountains and stuff that gets messed up. We continue our friendship. I think a lot of people nowadays are just ready to give stuff up because of one or two situations, rather than look at the fact that I think the most important thing is the core principles. The core principle is the most important thing. Can we connect with each other as friends on a core principle? Like, do I have to worry about you having like me as a person who deals with a lot of women? Do I have to worry about you abusing women? If that's not the case, then I don't understand how a woman could ever break us up. Do I have to worry about you stealing like money? If that's not the case, I don't understand why we would ever not be cool. I think sometimes as men, I can only speak as a man, and as we get messed up, we let our emotions control our actions without thinking all the way through. When it comes to being able to network with people and being able to, for example, I could have got super emotional bringing a chick to the place where I thought was, I've made it perfect so there's no bugs, there's clean, everything is nice and neat, it's organized. I could have got emotional about it, like, yo, this is crazy, this is dirty this, dirty that, dirty this. But I understood the culture is different, so I did. I sent a nice text and said, hey, can you straighten this up? I seen some bugs. There's never no bugs before. Cool. I think we have to do that. I think as content creators on the space and as travelers, a lot of us start out I always start off with my personal experience in life, because I think that can show you that, guys, that when I say things, it's always coming from the heart. It's always coming from an experience that I had already. But now let's move it on to the travel space, to content creators, to travelers in general. A lot of the times, we may what's going on, Good Riddance? A lot of the times, we may meet people along our journey who are either there for a reason, or they're there for a season. But what determines how long they're there is going to be the values and the emotional ability to not overreact and not on fall. I'm back. Like, a lot of the times, you guys will see me on my trips. If you look at all my videos on YouTube, you'll see me on my trips, and a lot of the times I am with the people I grew up with, my brother, my boys. But more of the times, who met along the journey, who have values and principles. And even if they may do something that I wouldn't do, I feel as though the majority of people that I've met in this content creation world have similar enough core principles where we can combine and we can connect and we can be cool. I just got 100,000 subscribers, right? To me, that's nothing new. That's never been a reason why I've done YouTube. I've always done it to tell my stories. But on my 100,000 subscriber celebration time, shout out to Where's James. I had him open up the video on my channel. On my channel, the first voice you hear is not even my own voice. It's the voice of Where's James. And it's not because we're together. It's not because I know him very well. It's just because the core principles of what I would believe are very similar. I think a lot of us, we may be choosing to be around people that we don't vet well enough. And now when I say people, I'm talking about men and women. We don't vet long enough. We don't do the research, or we overlook things. This is the other end of the spectrum. We overlook things that may be signs that, hey, maybe our core principles are not the same. Maybe we don't agree with the same thing. So there's two sides of it. There's overreacting, like, hey, this is nothing, but we're going to overreact. And then there's, okay, well, maybe our core principles aren't the same. Now, only the people who are involved in any kind of dispute can figure that out. But for me, it's very rare, after spending time with someone, that I can't tell within maybe one or two hanging out experiences whether or not our core principles are the same. That's why on my channel, you don't see many people. You see many people multiple times. Like, shout out to DJ Chisel. DJ Chisel's a brother I met in DJ Chisel in 2020 in Barranquilla. Since 2020, me and DJ Chisel have been like this. It's 2024, 4 years later. There are people who I grew up with who I'm not as close as I am with Chisel, because I understood that their principles and values aren't the same. Time to me doesn't, and this is just a grown person talk. 215, what up? Tony, what's going on? This is a talk that I know maybe a lot of people won't care about this talk, but it's a talk that needs to be had, because I think as adults, we need to be able to understand that the core principle is the most important part. And if we have a disagreement, we have a fight, we have something that's minuscule in the grand scheme of things, Give it time, we can get over this. And that's if the values are the same. Again, y'all. So, like I said, with Chisel, me and Chisel, our values are very similar. Very similar. We stand for the same thing. I don't have to worry about him. I don't have to worry about him being around me doing something that isn't in the character I would expect him to do. Like, I don't have to worry about a woman complaining about him taking advantage of something like that. I don't got to worry about him slipping no drugs in nobody's stuff. So things like that is what I look at. Okay, this car is driving like this. Things like that is what I look at as being more important or most important in a friendship and association and things like that. Let me see. Chris, what's going on, Chris? Top of the morning, dog. Enjoy your 86,000 sex a day. Stay humble. I never really like the term humble. I like the term respectful. Stay respectful. Because humble means, to me at least, the way I see humble to me is I need to watch what I say because I don't want to overdo or over boast myself. But if I've been grinding for something, I'm a boast. But I'm gonna be respectful about it. Like I'm not gonna make it seem like I'm better than anybody, but I'm gonna boast about my achievements. So that's why I don't like the term humble. But I get it. Appreciate it, man. Again, y'all. I just think that we can have fun. We can do all this stuff. We can be the coolest people in the world. But I think a lot of people let one event, one emotion, change the trajectory. Like from we get, y'all. When it comes to me choosing the woman that I like to be around, the woman that I want to allow to be associated with me on a consistent basis, we have to have the same core values. We don't have to be in the same monetary position. We don't have to have the same values on dating. But when it comes to the core values of a woman that I'm going to allow to be seen around me, she has to have some core values. And surprisingly enough, not being a pro is not one of those core values that I really worry about. I know a lot of people, we've grown up to be like, oh my God, if a girl sleeps with another guy, it's over. I can't deal with her, this and this and this. If a girl is selling her box, I can't deal with her. I can't keep her under the wing. I think that is a privileged way of thinking. The reason why I say that's a privileged way of thinking is because everyone's life is going to be different based on what they have to deal with and what they have to do to survive. I would be closer to a woman that is willing in a country where it's not available as accessible for her to achieve income. I am more closely tied with a woman who is willing to sell her box to support her kids than a woman who will sit around and do nothing and depend on the government to let her kids starve. Core values. Because I believe in hard work. I believe in working smart, of course, but I believe in hard work. So for me, when I go around and I see people consistently putting a woman who is beautiful at the top of the core value charts, it tells me two things. It tells me, one, the person most likely has never dealt with beautiful women before. Or the person has never been considered high value or considered important by a beautiful woman before. 9s and 10s. And it also tells me that a person has never really been in a relationship at a long point for a long term to understand what matters the most. Because looks are dope. But the values of that woman is what will keep her around. Is she gonna get mad and not being able to control her emotions and break apart my stuff, flatten my tires, go to my job and make a big scene. I can't live like that. No, 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 no. Every person you're around is a blessing or a lesson. I can't live like that, because what that does is it messes up the flow of what I have going on. Now, of course, there are going to be some people, some guys, some women, some men who like that toxic trait because it makes them feel like the person really wants me because they're willing to risk their freedom to do this. And I think me growing up in the hood, I've seen this so many times. I felt this not when I was really young. I felt like if a woman acts up like my ex, who put peroxide and baby powder all over my clothes when we broke up, who put a piece of raw meat between my mattress spring when we broke up, like, for a little bit I felt, oh, that means she really cares about me, she really loves me, she really wants to be with me because she's willing to do this. But really, when you really think of it, it don't mean that. It means that our core values aren't the same. Because if you can do all this, I don't care if you pay for it, I don't care if we pay for it together, if it's both of ours, if you can do all of this after I've shown you nothing but amazing, like, it doesn't matter if you caught me cheating. It doesn't matter if I embarrassed you somehow in public. If we got the core principle values, you should understand, if you're not willing to deal with it, you can just walk away. But at the point when you start doing stuff like that, it shows me that a woman's core values aren't the same as mine. They aren't the same. Because regardless if she cheats on me, regardless if she embarrasses me in public, I'm not taking back anything I gave her. Whatever I gave her, she can have. I'm not breaking anything in her house. I'm not trying to cheat back or embarrass her for how she embarrassed me, because my core principles are, hey, if something happens that doesn't work out for me, cool, I'll move on to the next. But I'm not going to mess up. I'm not going to treat you a certain way because my feelings are hurt. And for me, those are the core values I need a woman to have. Because just because she does it doesn't mean that she wants me more. It just, to me, if a woman does it, it doesn't mean, if she starts, tearing my house up and doing stuff, it doesn't mean to me that she wants me more. It means to me that you don't respect what we have. Because if you really respect what we have, then you would understand that, hey, sometimes it breaks up, but I'm not going to react this way. Again, a blessing or a lesson. It's a blessing or a lesson. I only continue to be around people who have the similar core values as me, y'all. It's just, I think this conversation is not the most interesting conversation for people, but I think it's really needed, because I think after this conversation, people will start to look around the 5 people that you're around the most. Just look at what they do, look at their traits. Is what they're doing that you don't like something that's a core value that's something I can't accept, or is it something that is just a personality trait that they do that I might not like? I might be a faithful man, and your personality trait might be lying to women to get them in bed. Okay, that's just a personality trait. That's not a core value I really care about. I might be a hard worker, and your core value might be to just get over on people. Again, that's not a value. That's not a trait that I really have to care about either. But if I'm an honest, hardworking guy, and then you are a con artist, I don't know if we could really continue to be around each other, because then the world looks at me as a con artist. Clayway, what's going on, Clayway? Wait, what do you say? Hold on a second. Hold on, let me order this food real quick. 1 second, y'all. Hey, what's going on? May I get the the cheesy rice burrito.
Okay.
That's it.
Very much cheesy rice burrito.
Yeah.
Alrighty, go to.
Thank you. Hold on, give me a second, y'all. Give me a second, y'all. Let me get this food. I think this is the same one I've talked to before who looked kind of good, but had a little haircut. So we're gonna see what it is today. One second, y'all. Yep, it is. Hold up. 1 second, y'all. Hello. How you doing? Thank you. I know it's not the healthiest thing in the morning, y'all, but it gets me through the day. Thank you.
You're a vegetarian.
I don't know. I love cornflakes. Might be a little less, I don't know. Bisexual. We see. You see that number. Usually put in the receipt. All right, let me see y'all. All right, Clayway, what up, man? What's going on? He said, "How you feel?" Oh man, how you feel about C3? I hope it's temporary. Unfortunately, I don't know, but I hope it's temporary. I think that cooler heads just need to prevail. I don't know the situation. I can't really speak on it because. Thank you so much. No, I'm good. I'm not sure. I don't. Like I said, I was on a date yesterday when I seen the live pop up. I didn't get a really chance. I didn't really get a chance to listen to too much of the live because I was trying to listen, but I had to pay attention to the date I was on. But it seems like it's real, so I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe I gotta see. I gotta watch the tape today. I gotta go back and watch the video to see if things were explained or something like that. Because, again, I'm not privy to other men's situation, so I don't like speaking on other men's situation because I'm not privy to the information that they might be privy to. But it sucks because, like I said, y'all know me. I'm always for the bigger picture, man. I always see the bigger picture. And I can't really speak on other men's situation, but it sucks. It was a good thing to see. Anyway, definitely needed. Definitely, what's up, Mister? Y'all put me on wanting to travel more. Much love. Hey, Clayway, listen, man. Each one teach one, bro. People don't understand the power in that, y'all. Like we not even 15%. We're not even 15% of the people who have passports in the United States. So as the world opens up more, I think it is better for everyone because people will stop having a one-sided mind on things. People will be more accepting of other people's cultures, other people's way of thinking. It doesn't mean you have to live by it or agree with it, but you can be accepting of something that you can't live by or agree with, man. Yeah, so that's pretty much that. J. Class, salute. What's going on, man? You guys can ask any questions you want. We got about like 5 more minutes before we get to the job. I just think welcome to Jeep Talk episode 24, a blessing or a lesson. You're basically the average. You're the average of the 5 people you're around the most. Like it's 20 people in the room, 22 people in the room right now. Just take a second real quick and think about the 5 people, or let's say if you're not around 5 people, the 3 people you are around the most in your life. And then think about where they are in life. Think about what their life is like. And see if it's right. If you are if you are the average of the 3 people you're around the most. I feel as though I am. I'm around myself a lot. But I'm also around my Ecuadorian friend who's a contractor, has his own business, has his houses. I'm around my brother who has his own business, has a family, who has houses. And I'm around that's probably the closest 3 people I'm around a lot. My brother and my friend who's the Ecuadorian. And both of them are similarly where I'm at. Yeah. So you are the three people around the most. R-Dub, what's going on? You ready for the Afro-Colombian Festival? And do you have a baddie lined up? Okay, so I don't like skipping over trips. So I try not to plan too far ahead because we here really early. We here very early. Because then it makes another trip go faster. For example, I am going to Cuba next month. Matter of fact, today is what? Today's the 20th. I'm going to Cuba on July 13th, the weekend of July 13th, I believe. So I don't want to think too much of Cali. I don't have anything lined up for Cali except for the Airbnb and ticket, the flight, because like I said, I always book that first. But right now, I'm just focused on Cuba and what I have lined up. For you guys that might not have seen the Havana live, on my channel, I did the other day. When I get to Cuba, I want to start my legacy, and I'm starting my legacy with a woman that I feel has the same core values that I have. Now, we definitely don't come from the same income. We don't speak the same language, but I do speak Spanish, but we don't speak the same language fluently. But the values from what I've, been able to put together over the last 7 years I've known her, and her mother, I think the values are enough to allow my legacy to have that part of my legacy. If you guys know what I mean by legacy, that's what I mean by legacy. So when I go to Cuba, I'll be trying to start that legacy, and I'm probably gonna, because I was trying to go against putting her on my channel, and after I'm telling everybody that I'm starting my legacy, because I already know how it is. People go there, they're trying to find her, but that doesn't matter to me, because it's more important for me to show the woman I want a legacy with on my page, because in the future, if something ever happens to me and no one ever knows her and no one knows of it, it could be difficult when it comes to what happens with the things after I pass away. So I am going to most likely have a girlfriend experience when I go to Cuba on next month, but she also is going to found me some snacks where I can get some snack content. Again, when I surround myself with people, it's people who understand the core values. She doesn't care about me sleeping with other women. She doesn't care about me having women on my channel. She doesn't care about any of that stuff. What's important is that I don't do it and throw it in her face, as far as if I'm walking around with a chick with her. That's the only thing she cares about. But that doesn't really have to happen, because if she lives in Cuba, and even when I'm in Cuba, she allows me to be with other women, as long as it's not like bringing them to her house. That works for me. These are some of the core values that are more important to me than how a woman looks. These are some of the core values that's more important to me than where a woman works. Because see, I think, my opinion, no shade, no hate, I think that men who put a woman on a higher standard because they make a lot of money, it feels like either those men have never really made a significant amount of money, or those women worship, or those men think money is the end all be all. Because I don't care how much a woman makes from her job, because I have enough money to support all of us. Her, me, any children we have. I have enough money to do that. And I think if I'm saying that the quality, like a lot of people say, you black guys, you passport bros, I'm not a passport bro, you black travelers, you go overseas and you get the low quality women. But this is where they mess up. The quality of woman doesn't, for me, it doesn't lie in her looks. The quality of woman, for me, doesn't lie in how much money she makes. For me, the quality of woman lies in how she blends with what I want in a woman. Are you going to trip if you see me with other girls? No, that's quality. Can I put myself on camera and I be kissing? Can I be making out with? Can I have other girls all over me? Yes, that's quality for me. People misconstrue what quality is. Quality is different for everyone. They say, oh, you guys get the bottom, you guys go to Thailand, you guys go to Colombia, you get the bottom barrel of the women. By whose standard? I mean, oh, she's out of shape. Okay, well, maybe I like thick women. Oh, she's from a village, she's poor. Okay, well, maybe I like the fact that she cooks, cleans, she's submissive, and all this stuff. So again, a lot of people allow other people's standards in their head to change what they consider quality. So for me, that's what I'm doing in Cuba. Like I said, Cuba's the next trip we talk. Colombia, we'll talk about that after we get back from Cuba. It's already all, like I said, both of my flights and Airbnbs are already set up in Colombia and Cuba. So those are two definite trips. I haven't set my Airbnb up in Medellin because I'm supposed to be going to Medellin Memorial Day, Labor Day weekend, just to go meet up with my cop and maybe get some more content. But the other trips are all set up. R-Dub, ninjas ain't going to Cuba to try to smash out of their territory. Wait, what? Ninjas ain't going to Cuba to try smash out of their territory. You don't want to get a dime pregnant. It makes your kids look good. I'm trying to get the first one. Ninjas ain't going to Cuba to try to smash out of the territory. I don't know. I don't understand that one. But the second one, is that a question? You don't want to get a dime pregnant. It makes your kids look good. My kids gonna look good regardless because they're gonna have my genes. This is where it is. But the thing about that is that getting a dime pregnant in another country, for the majority of part, if she's a dime, meaning she's considered very attractive in her country, she's considered very attractive at the top 1% or 2% of the attraction level in the whole world, it's going to come with a lot of requirements that, to me, is not worth it. You have to expect this. If you're getting a dime in Colombia, if you're getting a dime in Brazil, if you're getting a dime in if you're getting a dime in Colombia or Brazil, that means that she's garnered the attention of a lot of guys in her country and out her country. That's an everlasting battle of you having to do everything right because she has so many options. Because she has a standard of living that you're going to have to reach and do. Can I afford to keep her in nice bags, keep her dressed nice? Yes, of course. But that takes away from the money that goes to the kid. That takes away from her wanting to get money herself. And if a woman just wants to be a trophy wife, it's going to be more difficult to then get her to teach my children to be hard workers, to teach my children how to be entrepreneurs. Because if all she wants to do is be a trophy wife, then her values are going to be different than what I want a woman. We spoke about this earlier. Her values are going to be different yesterday. Her values are going to be different than the type of woman that I want to raise my kids. See, no one ever thinks about that. They think about, oh, she's going to be pretty to look at this whole time. But they don't think, hey, if all she wants to do is spend your money, sit around and look good, what do you think? What do you think she's gonna teach your kids? Especially if you have a daughter. And then when your daughter's not able to do that, what's she gonna do? She's gonna go out and want to live pro activities because now she wants this life that her mother had. She wants this lifestyle her mother has, but she's not gonna be able to give it because guess what? She might not be able to find the sucker that's gonna be able to like her mother found that just wants to give her money because she looks good. That happens in the States too. Again, y'all, it's a blessing or a lesson. You have to choose the people who you choose to be around. And those people should have the same core values that you have. Men, women, anything in between. Um, J. Clyde, why the pump fake with saying a dime and come on, J. Clyde. Come on, J. Clyde. Come on, man. It's too early in the morning. Come on, J. Clyde. Come on, J. Clyde. You're right. Hypergamy. Listen, man. I just call it the laws of nature, man. It's just the laws of nature. We'll go like another 5 minutes. And I gotta go eat this before another 4 minutes. I gotta eat this before the pause. It gets cold. I think people will, you should, as a person, value how a woman treats you higher than how she looks. You know why? Because how she treats you will always be the same. How she looks will change with time. If she's treating you like shit, but she looks amazing, when her looks diminish with time, all you have is a woman who's unattractive, who's aged out of beauty, and is treating you like shit. And if that's the woman that you decide that you're going to have a kid with, maybe it works for you, but for the majority of us, it doesn't. It doesn't. Again, y'all, we'll end this live now. I just think that this conversation needed to be had. Like, a lot of my Jeep talks are going to be funny, informational, serious. It's going to be a collective group of balance, because as y'all know, balance is everything for me. I don't go over the top. I don't go under. It's right in the middle. You're gonna get a little bit of everything. You're gonna get them snack episodes where the women are shaking their butt on my channel, and my channel's always been like this. And I pride myself in being able to deliver to you a balanced experience, because you're gonna get them women shaking their butt, but you also gonna get that financial education talk. You're gonna get that talk about, hey, don't white these pros are smashing everybody, and you also gonna get that talk about, hey, you got to think about your kids and the future and leaving a legacy. Balance. But I appreciate you guys for joining me on this Jeep Talk episode 24. A blessing or a lesson. The people you choose to be around. It's your boy FRE $H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's THEFLYBOYWAY. Don't ask why, just check out the channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.